Coming up in our next half hour, we are going to talk with the folks from PlantTraps. I saw the first one that they developed last year. It's a tool-free shelf planter that slides under your railing on your balcony or your deck so that it extends the ledge beyond the face of the railing for container gardening. Really cool. And of course, as being a container gardener that I am, I jumped all over that one, thought it was great. It's very, very easy to use. Just slide it out, put your pot on it, you got a great way to go. Then the inventor, who is Deborah Holzschlag, then came up with railscapes, which are clips that mount between the balusters of the spindles for vertical gardening right on the railing. And both of these, by the way, are tool-free. And you can find them at your local garden centers. You can also find them on their website at PlantTraps.com. But if you're a container gardener and you're limited because you've got a deck that's enclosed with the railing or you're on a balcony, well, this is a great way to put them on the outside and still be able to enjoy them like they do in Europe. And with us is the inventor of these great products, Deborah Holzschlag. She is the inventor, founder, and she is a busy balconista. And if you want to be a balconista like Deborah, well, she's going to tell you how to do that. Good morning.
Wow, what an intro, Ron. Thank you so much.
I love the balconista thing. Where'd you come up with that?
My son came up with it.
That is outstanding. And when I saw that, I said, you know what? That's exactly what that is.
Yes. Well, originally, I wasn't the gardener in the family. My husband was. And we had quite the extensive container garden on our small porch. Mm-hmm. And it just happens that during COVID, I wanted more room for a living space, and he wanted more room for plants. And so I started fantasizing about the perfect balcony garden, European style. And that's how the idea was born.
I saw the first one, the
ledge planter.
The ledge planter. I saw that last year at the trade shows. Of course, we jumped all over it. I thought that was an absolutely outstanding idea. And then after that one, you come up with a second one to use on the railing. So first of all, let's talk with the ledge planter and what exactly that is and how does that work?
Okay, so the PlantTrap ledge planter, the original, is a shelf that you slide under the railing. And what it does is it extends that little good-for-nothing ledge right outside the railing. It extends it into a shelf so that you can create sort of a surrounding border garden on your outdoor living space. So instead of looking at the bottom of your hanging planters or the side of a plastic box, your point of view is the top of a flower bed surrounding your balcony area.
When I first saw those, it was like, what a great idea. We have a situation on our deck that's a small sitting area and there's a rail right in front of it. This ledge planter was absolutely perfect because, like you said, it takes advantage of that little lip that's sticking out. Now, there's a minimum amount of lip, right, for this thing to work.
So that is how the second one was born.
Okay.
Either people didn't have enough lip or said to me, I don't have a ledge. I love your product, but I don't have a ledge. So I basically laid awake at night until I figured out how to do the same sort of thing without the ledge. And then the clip was born, and then I figured out that the clip could actually be elevated anywhere on the railing. So now I could do 2 levels or 3 levels or a wave of plants across the front of the railing.
So now we have both sitting on our ledge or using the railing or a combination of the two. And of course, then that gives us the opportunity to put these plants on the outside. So we've got plenty of room on the inside for us to sit and enjoy and entertain and do whatever and still enjoy the plants because they now grow kind of through the railing and around the bottom of the deck. Yeah. It kind of creates a wall around you.
I love how they peekaboo through the railing. It's really beautiful. And I like to say more room for living, more room for plants.
Exactly. Talking with Deborah Holzschlag, and of course she is the balconista, the creator of these PlantTraps. Go to their website. It's PlantTraps.com, and you can learn more about them, and we'll talk more about where you can find these and all of that. So let's go back to the ledge planter again, because and we'll talk about both of these, but folks are trying to envision this. This is actually an L-shaped bracket.
Yes. It is basically a shelf that's C-shaped. So the bottom shelf slides under the railing, over the ledge, and cantilevers over the ledge to extend that ledge. And then the back side has this beautiful fleur-de-lis shape that is pinned against the inside of your railing. And then there's a small topper that incorporates a stake. So you take a long 12-inch stake and you put it through the top piece down into the soil of the planter, the lip of the planter, to stake it and make it stay right there.
And again, if you notice, Deborah didn't mention any tools involved because there aren't. Size-wise, as far as the planter that you can put on these ledge planters, what holds up, about 15 pounds or so?
So it depends on how thick your railing is, how thick your ledge is. You know, if you got 5 or 6 inches out there, you can put twice the weight out there. So It really depends on what your little ledge is going to hold. There's a little bit of trial and figuring out like what's the perfect box or planter for you. But that's another nice thing is that I don't supply the planter, so you can choose the color and the shape that matches your decor. There's black and white.
Black and white.
The white railings have never really had a beautiful white thing that sort of disappears into the railing.
And of course, you could spray paint in whatever color if you're into something else, or do whatever color changes you'd like. But about a 4-inch ledge is needed to be efficient. But the bigger the ledge is out there, the larger the pot and the more weight it can handle as well.
The deeper the pot, the better also, because the stake has more soil and more to grab onto.
So we've talked about the ledge planter and what a great job it does. But then you took it to the next step, and now you've taken it to the rails.
Yes. So I want you to think European multi-level balcony gardens now. You know, we've all seen the pictures of them, but how do you get that without being a contractor or hiring one? So I wanted to do something that was more than just putting a window box on the top railing. And I now can say that you can prepare your container garden for new heights. I've heard you say the word yardening, and I love that. And we all say landscaping, so I'm trying to coin a new word, and the new word is railscaping.
Love it.
And these clips are called railscapes, and they're basically vertical gardening clips. And they're a streamlined, discreet, simple little wire that clips in between the rails to hold up to a 15-pound planter. And it can be up to 10 inches wide, and you can just string these along your railing to create this beautiful floating garden with as many layers as you want.
And, you know, you mentioned the window box, and, of course, if there is a flat railing, like sometimes there's that shelf on the top, I hate putting plants on that. You know, I want to keep that empty all the time, so then you got to put the box down below that. This is absolutely perfect, but it's called railscaping, and I love that. I think that's absolutely outstanding. Now, again, weight-wise, looks like most of these are all, is a 10-inch hanging basket?
Yes.
Okay.
So a 10-inch flared basket, or the top rim is actually about 9.5 inches wide, but a 10-inch flared basket fits beautifully in there, yeah.
So now you've created the wall in front of the railing, and you can also do your ledge planter down below, and now you've created this nice wall on the outside to do your railscaping. You can do your yardening and railscaping. How about that? Together, on the outside, and give you plenty of room on the inside as well. Absolutely great products.
Thank you so much. You know, something that's really interesting about the clip that is kind of new is that a lot of apartment complexes and HOAs won't allow you to put any railing planters on the top or on the outside. Or if you live like on the 11th floor, there's no reason to have the plants on the outside because you don't really need curb appeal on the 11th floor of a Chicago apartment.
Right.
But these clips, you can use them on the inside of the railing, on the interior of the railing, to create this wall of flowers for your pleasure from the inside as well.
As I was going through the website and I started looking here, you've taken the railscaping and now you've taken it indoors for those stairs going upstairs, downstairs, for indoor plants and for the holiday season.
Yeah, imagine poinsettias up the stairs on the outside rail, not on the inside where you're stepping and, you know, needing to put your hands.
I think it's absolutely outstanding. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the picture of the indoors where you're coming down that spiral staircase, and you have the these on there with the ferns on there and the indoor plants. That's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really excited about the clip. I really am.
Now, of course, you're getting a lot of interest in this as well. You've been on TV, and you got a lot of articles written about it. Trendy, very trendy, obviously. Container gardening, very hot out there right now for anybody, because it affords anybody the opportunity to do it, whether you have a balcony or a deck or whatever it may be. Now, where do folks, obviously they can order these on your website, but these are also available at local garden centers.
Yes, so I will be going back to the Eric show where we met last year, and hopefully hundreds of gardening centers will have these by spring.
Again, on your website, you do list some of the garden centers that have them already.
Yes. There are about 100 gardening centers that have the PlantTrap, and I'm hoping that those will add the railscape as well as we'll get some more new gardening centers. And mostly they are available in the independently owned gardening centers. We're not in any big box stores yet, so that's another reason to go visit those local 5-generation independently locally owned gardening centers.
Absolutely. Got to support those local independent garden centers. They can order them from your website as well, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so you can also order them if your local garden center doesn't seem to have them right now. You can always order them, but when you're at your local garden center, tell them you ought to pick them up because it's a great product. But again, you could do that and do your fall decorating as well with these. And of course, that's coming up next month. We're going to plant all those mums and cabbages and kales and pansies, and these PlantTraps would be absolutely perfect. Again, for decorating your balcony or your deck for the fall season. Again, check out their website. It's PlantTraps.com. Deborah Holtschlag, balconista, professional balconista, and you can become a balconista as well using both of these great products. No tools involved. Hey, I'll tell you what, great product. I was glad we finally got you on the show to talk about it.
Thank you. Another thing about putting your plants up on the balcony or deck is no deer, no rabbits. I've gotten notes from customers saying that their dogs were always destroying their container gardens.
Yep.
And now, because they can get them onto the other side of the rails and peekaboo through, that the dogs can't climb or cats can't climb into the pots anymore. We've done some really interesting things like lavender balcony gardens.
Ooh.
Like that was such a beautiful, we surrounded a balcony in lavender. That was gorgeous.
So many great ideas, whether it be annuals, whether it be vegetables, herbs, whatever it may be. These are going to work for you. Balconies or decks. Check it out. PlantTraps.com. Thanks, Deborah. Appreciate you being on with us this morning.
Thank you, Ron.
All right, take care.
Thank you so much.
Again, their website is PlantTraps.com. It really is two cool products, and they really do work. And kind of gives you a little bit of freedom on that patio, balcony, or deck without having all those plants in front of you. Now they're out in front of you on the other side of the rail. Check it out. It's pretty cool. PlantTraps.com.